Ah. Again. What? Okay. Yeah. Thing. Alright. I need a. Is that like a 13, 15 millimeter? And see the shit. I can't even see that either. What the? No, I mean. See, okay, I need one of those. Wait, do it? Where's the markings? Glare? No, my eyesight's going, but this is ridiculous. This is, oh my god. I can't see this shit. It's like, I'm gonna do something about that. I'm sick of this. I'm an old fart anyways. Eyesight's going. Yeah, locked. Okay, you know what? Screw that project. I'm gonna do a new. I'm gonna do something about this. This gotta go. I need something. Okay. Alright. So what we're going to go on here is not really a build. This is more like a simple little tool mod, my way. What we're going to do is we're going to paint the markings in like your sockets or your wrenches for basically to see them better and to help identify them better. This is an icon set that I have that I'm actually phasing out my other set. But that's a different story. We're just going to really focus on, painting the markings. Basically, I'm going to do something like this. I don't know if you can see it because of the glare, which also makes it harder to see markings. Into something like this. At least it'll stand out a little bit better. And we're going to do my method on this. I already did the metrics, which is, there are easy parts about this, and then there are easy parts about this, and then there are parts about this, and there are also parts about this. So basically, the colors that I'm using for this project are basically three. I'm using blue, and what I'm using here is a fine tip acrylic paint marker. It really doesn't matter what type of paint marker you use, but the finer the tip, the cleaner it will be. You can, but I would suggest get the kind you shake. There are other videos out there where you take nail polish, you basically paint it on in there, and then you take like a cloth with some acetone and you just wipe off what's on the surface. That's good for something like this, but if you're going down to something that, let's say, is a 1/4 inch, like ultra small 1/4 inch, like something like this, which the markings that they put on it are very shallow and they're very small. You go ahead and you paint that with nail polish or whatever, and then you try to wipe it off the fibers in the rag or whatever, and it's so shallow it'll just contact the paint that you put in the groove and just take it all right out. You basically can't do it. It's super difficult. My method is going to be a little bit different because I really don't want any of it on the outer surface. I want all my paint in the grooves. Some will just go ahead and actually do the fine tip marker. We'll just go ahead and paint over it and leave it as is. In some cases it's fine, it actually stands out a little bit more, but when you get down to the 1/4 inch drive, the very small stuff, you can't see it. It's just too big. So I'm going to start On a half-inch set, I'm only going to show you 2 sets, half-inch and quarter-inch. I'm not going to do the 3/8 because it's basically, this will show you how easy it is to do on the half-inch and the difficultiness on the quarter-inch. The 3/8 is just in between. It's a little harder than this, but easier than the quarter-inch. So I'm going to show you the easy part. This is a brand new Icon set. So what I do is, here, let me actually set it off to the side. And over here, you know, get some paint flowing in the marker. You actually got to clean it off a little bit. Okay. I'm left-handed, so I kind of have to work in a different direction. And even, and this is a standard set, so like the fractions are kind of small, especially this socket here is a 1 1/8. So the 1/8 is printed really small, but the rest is easy. The large sockets, like I said, are the easiest of easiest. And the only thing I'm not going to paint in here is basically like each socket here has like a model number. No need for that, because when the heck do you need to know the model serial number per socket as far as working with the damn thing? Replacing, yeah, okay, I understand that, but especially for an Icon set like this, you know, you lose one socket, you gotta buy the whole set. If you break it, you know, just take it back and Harbor Freight will totally return it because it's a lifetime guarantee. Some areas you gotta go over twice just to make sure you got enough paint in it. So this is what I got right here. Hopefully you can see it in the light. But it's pretty neat, but I want to do it better. But I need this to kind of dry. It's a good thing this is just a water-based acrylic. It will dry quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this set, and then I'm going to paint over this. I'll show you that part too, but as I go through all this, it gives this time to dry, and even as I'm painting that, a little more time to dry, and I'll show you what I do to help finish that off. So they're all painted on this set. I'm sure you're looking at it like, hey, that looks pretty good. I mean, a little bit of mess like up there, if I'll focus, you know, but yeah, you can really see it. And if you want to leave it like this, you know, that's okay. But no, I want it to look as sharp as like this, or even this, where the paint is actually in the grooves and not above it. There's a little bit of mess up there. Gotta clean that off. I don't know how I missed that. That's easy to clean off. Somewhat. There. Somewhat. Okay. By the way, since we're kind of back on why that was messy, and maybe a little explanation. If you notice on some other sockets, actually where the manufacturers do this, they typically do metric in blue, which is why I'm doing here. Kind of like a color code, easy thing to find out. Hey, I need metrics, look for the blue ones. You need the size, find, you can actually find it. But with also, if you notice, on metric sockets, they have like a ribbed stripe, you know, and many brands have the ribbed stripe for metric. Painting those is a little bit of a bitch, because you're getting in a little bit of a, in these little tiny grooves. And when I do a metric set, I'll show you how I do that. But that's where the pros and cons of that set and this set is. The grooves in here are way easier to do because it's just a straight channel, and in here it's ribbed, so that's the pain. But the pain in the is filling in the paint in the grooves, easy ones on this one. But the pain in on this one is like all you got to do more markings to fill in, and this, like the fractions on the big ones are smaller, so that's just why I have a little bit of garbage hanging over. But on this part, well, not this part, coming up I'm going to show you how to clean that. But while this is drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the tray here. I haven't decided if I'm really going to keep the trays and use something else, but I do like how it's easier to see kind of like this. So in case if I'm going to keep the tray, I'm going to do it, and if not, I'll find something else. But I'm going to do the markings on here. That's one thing, you want to be able to see the markings on the tray, which is kind of hard to do. So what I'm going to do on this red one is coat it in black. The blue one is actually easier because when you're painting on it, and if you get a little bit over the edge, you just take, you know, black and you just dab a little bit over it. Well, the red ones are harder because this red doesn't really match this red, so and a little bit over, I have to kind of like, you know, scrape a tiny bit of it off, and that kind of works. So this is how I do this. So I'm going to do this one up close, make sure I got paint flowing. Okay, and this is like a little bit of a just because there's more numbers here, markings, than there is on a metric. I mean, seriously, look at all those markings compared to that. So this one's a little bit more time consuming. Easy. Like I said, that one went pretty well. Hopefully I don't have to scrape any little bits of paint that overflow off. Of course, I'm left-handed, so I gotta go from right to left, because if I go your typical way from left to right, my forearm is going to be on top of what I painted and screw everything up. Just saying. I got a little bit, I'm in the shadow, a little bit over on the side, so let that dry. So what I do is I just go over the whole, I just mark everything first, and I go back and I'll take that little scraper and just get that little chunk of it off. So part of the problem is why I did that is because I'm also holding the camera and doing this at the same time. Look, I got a little bit off that one too. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and do all this. So it's going to take me a couple minutes, and then we'll go back to these and then show you how I clean all that up and make it look legit. I went ahead and painted them all. So now it's time to go find and remove the garbage. So we have some garbage like right here on this, between the 16 and 1. I'm using like a little dental pick, but you could probably use like a tip of a nail or a screw or something small and sharp. And I'm just lightly just kind of rubbing it out. Now it's going to scratch this a little bit, but I don't really care too much about that. So just going through to find any little bit of the black paint that got over, so it doesn't look as sloppy. Put it on this side. Some more here. See, at my angle, I'm getting a lot of glare off the thing, so it's hiding a lot of the bullshit. So I gotta tilt it up a little bit so I can see it from my vantage point. So I'm looking at white light off the damn tray. couple areas I see needs a little bit touch up, like it doesn't have enough, like here on the corner of the 5. Better. Put on the 1 right here. Yeah, that's about it. This one needs just a damn tray at the end of the day. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm okay. There, easy to see the numbers. So now it's time to go back and deal with this crap. Let me just set this off to the side. Now, this is how I deal with this, which is different than what everybody else that I've seen done when they paint their sockets. Mine's very unique. Mine, I have to use a drill. So what I do here is, it's really all about removing the crap off the surface. So the tools that I need for this is a drill with a socket adapter, little piece of sandpaper, like what I'm using is 1500 grit. You don't want to go any more aggressive than 1000, because then you're really going to scratch the finish up. With this, it's so fine, it doesn't really even scratch it. The point of it is so it'll just kind of wipe off what's on the surface. But like if you did it with a cloth, you know, there's going to be fibers in it that'll dig down into it and pull it up. This not, it's just going to be flush. And then after that, I'm going to kind of polish up any fine little bit of scratches that it did make and clean up a little bit. I'm using this stuff because I just have a bunch of it. You can use like Mother's or whatever, it's just any type of metal polish in a cloth. And then wipe it off with any other cloth. I'm just going to use an old sock. The great thing about this also is this is the wrong size. Let me go get that real quick. Here, you can stare at this while I go get the damn adapter out of my box. We don't even actually need that one anymore. That's a 3/8. I already did all the 3/8. Okay. 1/2-inch adapter. What's really great about this is, hey, I got a steady base to do what I got to do. So what I'm going to do is, I can slightly turn it into place. Stupid glare from the light, I'm sorry about that, but I need to see best I can. Take my little piece of sandpaper, and what I'm just going to barely do is I'm just going to barely touch it and just kind of go over it. What it does is just takes all the crap off the surface. Very little pressure. See that? That actually looks way better. See if I can find a spot. There. Maybe that'll help. See, it's not even on the surface. It's actually all in the grooves. The 1/2-inch ones are easy because the markings are deeper in there, so it actually holds the paint better. The other thing I like to do is, the other thing that's also neat about putting this in the drill is you can just hold a little pressure and just barely wipe it. That's about it. Of course, with the sandpaper, just a little pressure. And then take your polish and clean up a little bit. There's really hardly any scratches, more or less just fingerprints on it. Now all it needs is just a tiny, tiny bit of this stuff. This will last me pretty much the whole damn thing. Easy little polish. Check it. Now some of these, even for the 1/2-inchers, basically you can be doing this a lot with 1/4-inchers, is you got to go back and touch up a little bit. But touching it up is so easy. Basically what I look for is a little spot that maybe the paint didn't get in there or pulled away during the cleaning part. There's a little bit of metal still showing through in here, so just take a little bit of that and just put it in. Now I'm very happy with this one. It's all the lettering's all filled in evenly. But I'm going to show on what happens if, okay, let's say you see a little bit of metal like on the tip of the one or something. Just put a little dab in there, and then just with your fingertip, just barely touch it and wipe it away. Because you still have a little bit of that polishing stuff on there. It doesn't really stick to it, and it helps, you know, helps to pull it off the surface, but yet it's still in the groove because the polished part didn't get in the groove, so it'll stick with that. But this one is done. So take this one, put this back in the tray. Check, go down the line. Oh yeah, see, I got a bunch of crap on this one. So first, I mean, yeah, you can just go ahead and start spinning, but it's just, you want to be like as easy as possible. Just kind of pull it away. Yeah, it's already, all the crap on the surface is already going away. I mean, there's like a little dot. Now the reason why, I mean, I see a spot I got to touch up on this one, and why I don't do that first and I skip to the polishing is because I don't want to polish it when there is fresh wet paint on it. It just screws it up. And I'm going to reapply so little, it ain't going to matter. And plus, wiping off with the fingertip is not going to screw it up. So, take a look. Actually, I got a couple more spots on the little tip of the eye. Right there. Let me spin it a little bit closer. A little bit on the C right here. Take the fingertip and just pull it away. And it's in the groove and it's nowhere else. And a little bit on the one. Little tiny little stupid one. And a little bit in the groove here, then can you get a little bit? Same thing right here. And this one is done. Checking it out. It's really that simple. And it looks legit because it's all in the groove. So for me, I'm going to finish this up here, and then we're going to do the 1/4 inches just to show you on how much of a pain that is. So get ready for a lot of cursing, a lot of beeping, and all the other crap. This set is done. Came out pretty good. Of course, it's the 1/2 inch set. It's the easiest. Looks legit. It's all, the paint is all in the grooves and not on the outside. And the smudge is just fingerprints, of course, from the polishing compound. But you know, if you're really worried about that, then what the heck are you using tools for? Tools are meant to be banged up, scratched up, beat up, and all that other crap. If you're trying to make a work of art out of this, you can go off. So now it's going to time to start to do the 1/4 inch, and that's dreaded. So do these ones, get these out of the way, and we'll get to work on this one.